In this lesson, we're gonna talk about the derivative for some type of functions, and we're gonna do a lot of different examples. So I believe you guys are gonna enjoy this video. So let's get started. Well, before we go through those all type of examples and different form of questions, I want you guys to understand some of the basic things, and I want you guys to just try to understand the concept. So the first thing is all the time when you guys are dealing with the derivative, you have to remember this formula. So if it is kind of like in x raised to the n form, well, actually x raised to the n form is in this type of form. So n can be any constant number. So if it is in this type of form, to derive this number, it will be n the whole x raised to n minus 1. So just trying to memorize this thing. So the thing is, all the time, if you guys got this type of form, all you have to do is just bring this exponent or the constant number down, and then after that, you also have to subtract 1 from that exponent. So that's the thing you have to do all the time. Just bring this exponent down over here, like just like this, and then you also have to subtract 1 from this exponent. So don't get confused. Actually, we can apply this thing all the time, just literally in every questions. So you're gonna see me apply this whole principle in questions when you do some type of examples. So this is it, just trying to bring down the constant number and subtract 1 from the exponent. So now let's just do this one, or let's just do it. Let's just apply this whole formula in this question. So the thing we have to do is just bring this exponent down, so it will be 2, and then 2x the whole. You have to subtract 1. So when you subtract 1 from this exponent, it became what? It became 1 actually. I don't have to write 1, but just let me write it for you. So it became 2x raised to the 1. So this is it. This is the whole, this is kind of like the pattern. It goes all the time and it works all the time. So it became, when you bring this 3 down, it becomes 3x the whole. And when you subtract 1 from the exponent, it will be 2. And the same with this one too. It became 4, and then 4x the whole. When you subtract 1 from this 4, you're gonna get 3. So this is it, and this is the thing. Just try to memorize this formula. And when you come to the other type of form, sometimes you might even get this type of form. This type of form is there's another number in front. So when you get another number in front, all you have to do is just try to multiply. So when you multiply them, it will be 2 times by 2. So 2 times by 2 is actually 4. So it becomes 4x. But don't forget to subtract 1. So when you subtract 1 from the exponent, it becomes 1. I don't have to write 1. So when you just multiply 3 or the exponent by the number that's in front, it became 9. And the 9x, I told you guys, just don't forget to subtract 1 from the exponent. So when you subtract 1 from 3, it became 2. And this is also the same. So 5 times by 4 is 20, so 20x the whole. 5 minus 1 is 4. And then this is it. And this will be your last answer. So now it seems like you guys understand the basics, and just always don't forget this one. Don't forget this formula. X to the n is always n x the whole n minus 1. So now, since you guys got some understanding, now let's do some sort of critical questions, just a little bit different questions. We're gonna do a lot of different examples and in different forms. So now let's do it. Okay, so when you count the first question says that in the square root of x minus 2. So when I try to derivate in the square root of x minus 2, it seems a little bit complicated for me. So I want to rewrite this in a different form. So what I want to do is just, this is actually the same as x minus 2, the power of 1 over 2. So now it seems a little bit just obvious, or just a little bit clear for me, because I got 1 over 2. It means I got a power. So if I got a power, don't forget this formula. X to the n is always n x the whole n minus 1. So I'm going to apply this formula. So I'm going to bring this 1 over 2 down. So it became 1 over 2 the whole x minus 2. And I also have to subtract 1 from this exponent. So when you subtract 1 from 1 over 2, you're going to get minus 1 over 2. So it became minus 1 over 2. So it seems like this is my answer. But I also can write it in another form, or I can simplify this thing. So when you simplify this thing, this is actually the same as 1 over 2 times by x minus 2, the whole positive 1 over 2. So the thing that I did is just I bring this whole thing down. So when you bring it down, this power or this negative power, it changes to positive. So that's the thing, that's the whole thing that I did. And I also can simplify it in this form. I can also simplify it as 2 the whole in the square root of x minus 2. So this is it, and this is the last thing that I can do. So this is, you also can simplify it in this form. Sometimes in questions like you might see uh, the answer you answer in simplified form. So you gotta simplify sometimes. So this is all you have to do when you try to simplify the things. So you gotta bring it down. If it's a negative exponent, when you bring it down, it become positive. So 1 over 2 is actually the same as square root. So I change it to square root and become 1 over 2 the whole in the square root of x minus 2. So this is all you have to do. Now, when it comes to the second question, the second question says that 2x minus 5. So when I try to derivate 2x minus 5, I want you guys to understand something. All the time, the derivative of any constant number can be 2, 5, negative 5, 20, whatever. All the constant numbers, the derivative is all the time is just equal to 0. So the derivative of all the constant numbers is 0. So that's one thing that I want you guys to understand. And then the other thing that I want you guys to understand is the derivative of any number or any variable number. What I mean by that is just two, can be 2x, it can be 5x, it can be, 20x, 100x. And so the derivative of this form is the derivative of 2x become 2. So the derivative of this type of form is it will be the number that's found with the variable, or it will be the constant number. So the derivative of this whole type of variable become what? It become the constant number. So the constant number for 2x is just 2, and 5x is 5, 20x is 20, and 100x is 100. So this is it, and this is how it goes. So now, since you understand this thing, I hope it will be easy for you to just figure out the answer for this one or for B. So the answer for 2x minus 5 is what? It became 2. And the reason for that is just negative 5 is constant number, so it becomes 0. And the derivative of 2x separately is 2. So this is how you figure out the answer when you guys got this type of form. So now let's go to the third one. It says that x raised to the 2 plus 4x and minus 5. Well, this one is let's just do separately. So let's do this one separately. So just bring the power or the exponent down. So it will be 2x. The whole, you also have to subtract 1. So I don't have to write it, but it is 1. And then plus, as I told you guys, just any number, it can be 4x, 5x. It's just all the time the derivative is the constant number. So this one is 4, this one is 5. So this one is actually become 4. So this one is become what? It became 4. And since this is a constant number, this will become 0, so I don't have to write it. So the last form, or the derivative of this whole thing, of this whole expression, is 2x plus 4. Well, when you count to the D, or the fourth one, it says that x raised to the 3 minus 3. So this is actually it's just kind of like this the same uh, type of question. So let's just do this one separately, and it becomes 3x raised to the 2. So it becomes 3x raised to the 2. I bring the exponent down and I subtract 1. And since this is constant, I don't have to write plus 0, so this one becomes 0. So this is it, and this will be my last answer. So this is all you have to do when you guys get this type of form. So now let's do just a little bit critical questions. Okay, so when you come to these three examples, the first one says that negative 9x raised to the 3. So we've done this type of example previously, so I want you guys to stop the video and try this one by yourself and see if you get the answer. But it seems like all we have to do is just multiply and subtract. So when you multiply 3 by 9, by negative 9, it becomes negative 27. And negative 27x, when you subtract 1 from 3, you're gonna get 2. And this will be your last answer. Well, when you count to f seems a little bit complicated, or and the reason for that is we got a rational number over here. So the thing that I have to do when you guys got this type of form is just to rewrite it in another form. So this is actually the same as 7x raised to the negative 5. So now I can do it so easily. So negative 5 times about 7 is negative 35, and negative 35x, the whole, I have to subtract 1. So if we subtract negative 1, or if we subtract 1 from this negative 5, it becomes negative 6. And your last answer become negative 35x, the whole, the power of negative 6. Well, when you count the last question, it says x raised to the 3 over 5. So, I have to follow the same procedure. Don't forget this one. X raised to the n all the time, and x, the whole n minus 1. Don't forget this formula actually. And then, so this one is actually become, I'm going to bring this all down. So it becomes 3 over 5x, the whole. When you subtract 1 from this one, or from this 3 over 5, you're going to get 2 over 5. So, and this is it, and this will be your last answer. So all you have to do is just bring it down and subtract 1. So subtract 1 from the exponent. So 3 over 5x raised to the 2 over 5 is my last answer. So I hope you guys understand and also get benefited from this video. So this is it, and this is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and have a good day, and thanks so much.